Hello student, today we are going to discuss some functions on the list. Here first I am creating one list. 1 is equal to giving value in the list in the code Jai Ajay, these are my values. Okay, now take one variable and is equal to len list. I want to find out the length of my list. Okay, so I'm using this print n. Now run this, that return 3. Okay, at present we are having 3 items. Okay, now after that, creating the list, I want to add one more item. Okay, one more name here. So for that purpose I will use append method. Append function is used to add an item in the end of the list. Okay, my list variable is list1 dot use append. In the append I am giving Rohan. Okay, now this is L1 length and I am taking one more length. L2 is equal to len list 1. Okay, print L1 is equal to this L1, print L2 is equal to this L2. Okay, so it will print our number of items. So in the first time that's the 3, in the second time that's the 4. Okay, when we call the append method, that append method add this item in the end of the list. Now the len function will return 4 value. Okay, means there are 4 items. If you want to print the list, then you can use here print also, print list1. Okay, so we can get the item Jai, Ajay, Vijay, and the last one is Rohan, that added with the help of append method. Now if suppose I want to add 2 student name here, Rohan and Mohan. Okay, then for that, if suppose I will give here in this format, then what will happen? That will give error. Okay, that will generate error. Why? Because append always take a single value. Okay, not more than one value. So if you want to add 2 items, then you can use here either append or extended method. Okay, then use append in this format, append Mohan. Okay, means 2 times you have to repeat the append 1, then append 2. Okay, now run this. Look here, that generate 3 and 5. Okay, why? Because 2 times we call append method and add 2 items, that Rohan and Mohan. Okay, so you have to use multiple time this append function if you want to insert multiple values. Okay, but it's the lengthy task. Okay, suppose if you want to add 5 item or 10 item, in that case 5 time or 10 time you have to rewrite this append method again and again. Okay, so on the place of this append method we can use here extended. Next method is extend. Okay, in the extend you can give in this format your value. Okay, and that will add in the end of the list. Okay, if you want to add one more name, suppose this, and one more name, this, run. So your those item will add it in the end of the list. Okay, now the total length is 7 after adding these 4 items. Okay, so with the help of this extended, you can pass a multiple item in the list. Okay, and suppose here you are passing only one item. Okay, I am adding only Rohan. So what will happen? That will add here in the end. Okay, and if you remove this man bracket and run like your append, then it will add your Rohan in this format. Okay, if you are using just like the append method, okay, so that will add single item in the list. Okay, and if you want as a full name, then you have to give here the man bracket and run, then it will add your full name. Okay, now the next is insert function. If suppose you want to insert any value in a particular position, okay, then you can use insert. Then you have to pass here index, on which index you want, on the one I am giving, then the value, okay, means on the index 1 I want to add this Rohan. Now see that Rohan will add on the index 1. Okay, your list index always start from the 0, you know that. Okay, so 0 and 1, so on the 1 index that your new name Rohan will add it. Okay, and your rest of the value will shift it on the next index. Okay, so with the help of append, you can insert item in the end of the list. With the help of insert, you can add an item on a particular index. Okay, and with the help of extend, you can add multiple items in the end of the list. Okay, so always remember the difference between these three functions. Now the next function is your index. If suppose you want to find out index of any item, okay, like here I want to print list 1 or variable dot index. Okay, I want to find out what is the index of Ajay. Okay, so pass the value and that will return your index position. That's 2 at this time, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, because we added Rohan in the middle on the index 1, so Ajay shifted on the index 2. So with the help of this index function, we can get a index value of any item. Now the next is your pop method. For that I am adding here value. Okay, to these are my item length, no need for this insert. Print list, yes. Now I am using here pop method. List 1 dot pop. In the pop, you have to pass index value. Like here I am passing 1 and after that print list. Now run this. Look here, in the first output Jay, Ajay, Vijay, okay, and after popping the index 1, on the index 1 the Ajay was there, so it will delete and print Jay, Vijay, Rohan, Ritu and Richa. Okay, that's the use of pop method. With the pop method you can delete any element from any position. You have to pass the index. If suppose you are not passing, okay, for example here I am not giving any value in the pop and run this, so by default it's delete the last element of the list. If you are not passing any index, then it will delete your last element from the list. And suppose you are giving such index, like here I am giving 10 and 10 index is not in my list, so it will generate the error pop index out of range. Okay, why? Because this index not exist in your list. Okay, now the next function is remove. This function is used to remove a specified item from the list. It will first check the appearance of that item. If that value found in the list, that will delete it. Okay, like here I am giving remove and I want to remove Vijay. Okay, now run this. Look here, in the first list Vijay was there, and after removing Vijay, that comes here Ajay and Rohan. Okay, that's output. If suppose I am typing a name Rohit, okay, this name is not exist in my list, so run this, then it give X not in the list. Okay, clear? And suppose here in the last I am adding one more time this Vijay, and I want to delete here Vijay. What will happen? Okay, this, look here, that delete from the first position, okay, the first occurrence of the value, not the second one. Okay, this last value is exist in my second list. Okay, why? Because this remove will delete the first occurrence of the value. Okay, whenever it will find, then it will remove that value and it will not check the rest of the list. Now next is clear method. Okay, on the place of this, if I will use clear method, then what will happen? Run this. Sorry, clear method, that will give the empty list. Okay, your all items will remove from the list. Okay, with the help of this clear method. This method delete only items, okay, not the list. When you will print, you will get empty list. And on the place of this, if suppose you will use del, I am writing here del list. Okay, so what will the output? That will give list 1 is not defined. Okay, why? Because my list is deleted here. This del will delete your whole list. Okay, and after that I am using print, then it will give the error message list 1 is not defined here. Okay, if I will remove this statement and run, then there is no error. Okay, the first output, this one, clear? So with the help of del, your whole list will delete. Okay, and if you are using clear function, that will delete your items, not the list. Okay, now the next function is reverse. I'm using here list1 dot reverse. Okay, now see what's the output of list1. Okay, look here, my first output was this Jay, Ajay, Vijay, Rohan. Okay, and the last item was Vijay. And when I reverse the list, then it will start from the bottom, then change the element Vijay, then Richa, that was the second last item in my list here, that comes on the second position, then Ritu, Rohan, and the first was the Vijay in the list 1. After reverse function, the J is last. Okay, so with the help of this reverse function, you can reverse your list. That function change the original list. Okay, now the next function is sort. Suppose you want to arrange your data in the ascending order. Okay, so you can use sort function like here, that my output after sorting. Okay, clear? That is start from Ajay, then Jai, then Richa, Ritu, Rohan, Vijay and Vijay. In the my actual list, Jai was the first element, then goes on the second. Ajay was second, then goes on the 1. Okay, and both Vijay goes on the last. That arrange your data in the ascending order. By default, this sort give in the ascending order. If you want in the decreasing order, then you can write here reverse equal to true and run this. Now look here, that Vijay comes in the first, then Ajay go on the last. Okay, why? Because here we write reverse equal to true. So when you want in the descending order, then use this argument reverse equal to true, and if you want the ascending order, then that bracket must be empty. Okay, by default is go in the ascending order like here. Okay, so these are the main function that we use in the list. Okay, have a nice time.